So, if your movie's about a thing called Wonderland, why the heck would you call it Wonder Park? It doesn't make any sense. This movie doesn't make any sense. Wonderland, not Wonder Park. What's up, guys? Welcome to Movie Emporium's movie review of Wonder Park, directed by nobody, but produced by Nickelodeon Studios. It stars Brianna Densky as June, Norbert Lee Butts as Peanut, Ken Hudson Campbell as Boomer, Mila Kunis as Greta, John Oliver as Steve, Kenan Thompson and Ken Jeong as two beavers in the movie, Matthew Broderick as the dad, Jennifer Garner as the mom. Okay, so animation is one of my favorite genres. It's a fantastic way to be expressive. You can create a fantastical world. You can do things like, have dragons. You can have like fantasy elements. You can just do all kinds of things with animation. That's why Pixar is considered one of the best studios on the market, as well as Disney Animation, as well as to an extent DreamWorks Animation. So here we got a movie that's done by Nickelodeon Studios, who's done stuff like Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius, and this is a story about a girl who has a big imagination. Her mom is well versed into his imagination, trying to make her, be more imaginative in her life. And so they create this place called Wonderland. And it's run by a bunch of animals, a boar, a bear, two beavers, a porcupine, so on and so forth, a monkey who is the creative influence. And one day the mom gets sick. She has to go away. The girl stops really believing in her imagination. The park falls apart. And so she's basically turned into kind of a young adult. And she's like taking care of her dad. But her dad's like, I'm fine. I can take care of myself. Sends him to math camp, sends June to math camp. She escapes and somehow she ends up in Wonderland. And so we get our story about how Wonderland has been taken over by this depression storm or whatever you want to call it. These chimpanzee zombies who are these stuffed animals are tearing down the land. It's kind of like if you look at Inside Out, how the lands are disappearing because the girl's emotions and her growing up is changing everything. And that's kind of like what's happening here. But it's just not as fun. It's not as good. The storytelling is awful. And just the story of how everything pulls together, it just it's for young kids. I get that, but animation should be more of a family thing. The adults should get out something out of it as well as the kids. And that's why Pixar and DreamWorks have the following that they do, because adult can go to something like How to Train Your Dragon and get something out of it, as well as the kid can go to it and also get something out of it completely different. But here it's just nonsensical BS. The animals are useless creatures when the girl stops believing in them, stops using her imagination. They give up on her really easily. They, go back and they help her really easily. So there's that story element that just doesn't work there. And everybody in the story is all happy go lucky and they're, upbeat and nothing ever seems to go wrong until the mom has her illness. And that's just like a contrived plot because it's done a billion times over and it doesn't really lead into anywhere. And then when she escaped from the math camp that she's going to and she lands up in the actual park, everything is just so quickly paced that there's no time for actual development, no actual plot development and story. So it just doesn't feel like anything's working. The characters, like I said, Mila Kunis, who's playing the pig or boar, she just gets angry and she just not really there. And then you have Kenan Thompson and Kim Jong as the beavers, and they're not really getting much to do. And Boomer, who's the bear, is just a narcoleptic bear. And it just, I knew this movie wasn't going to be great, but I didn't think it was going to be this terrible. Like I said, I love animation movies, but this is just bottom of the barrel. For every How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World, you're going to get 5 of these Wonderland, Wonder Park, whatever the heck you want to call it. And I wish I could have asked for more, but this is like your typical, I saw previews for stuff like Angry Birds 2 and just stuff like that, and Ugly Dolls. I'm like, I just feel like that the studios just pump out crap for kids to keep them busy, and maybe that's what this was meant for. But I want something more than what I got. And the animation is fine. The fur effect is really cool. There's been a lot of problems with this movie with the director who apparently did something he wasn't supposed to, so he got kicked off. So there's no actual director attached to this movie. But I don't know. You ever just watch a movie and go, what's the point of this? Why is this thing happening? You know everything's gonna turn out all right in the end. You know there's gonna be the low point, but the low point's so quick that it just doesn't really have a purpose. And the chimpanzee zombies are supposed to be like the minions, but they're not that clever. They're kind of just whatever. So the movie's not good. I guess if you want something to surprise your kids with for 85 minutes, go see it. But How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World's still out there, so go see that instead because you're gonna get a lot more out of it than a movie like this. So, but that's my take on Wonder Park. Once again, why is it not called Wonderland, but it's called Wonder Park for some weird reason? But thank you so much for watching. As always, if you like what you see, remember to rate, subscribe, check out the YouTube channel, Facebook, and Twitter. Email nlapolo113@gmail.com if you have any questions. What do you have any interest in seeing this movie? What do you think about movies like this? Have you seen it? Whatever. Tell me what your favorite animated movie is. Don't even talk about this movie. Move on. But otherwise, we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.